Good morning. Today we are going to learn about streamline and turbulent flow of liquids. So when liquids flow, the flow of a liquid may be either streamline or turbulent. So let us understand what exactly is a streamline flow and a turbulent flow. So streamline flow is a very orderly flow of liquid, you can say. So imagine that some fluid flow is associated with a liquid as well as a gas. Liquids and gases both can flow, but we shall consider here only the flow of liquids. Now, streamline flow is a orderly flow or a disciplined flow of liquid. So imagine that this is a tube through which certain liquid is flowing. Now, if this liquid is entering from this side and coming out, and if we divide the liquid layers like this, these are the different layers of liquid which are flowing through this tube, right from this side to this side. Then the liquid will flow in a very disciplined way, and the liquid will not have any churning effect. Means, like you can say, it will not form any vortex. Clear? Now here, that means the flow is very disciplined. But if you compare the turbulent flow, turbulent flow of liquid is, if this is, suppose the pipe through which liquid is flowing from this side to that side. Now this is the flow of liquid inside the tube. It is a streamline flow. But when the liquid comes out, suppose we place an obstacle here. This is an obstacle placed just at the mouth of this pipe. So when liquid will come out, it will hit this obstacle, and you will see that the liquid profile, the liquid will hit and it will form this sort of things. Now this liquid layers, after striking this, will form this sort of vortex. We call it as vortex. Okay. So this is called as we call it as, this vortex means like a local circular currents are set up. So from here to here it is streamline flow, but here the flow is turbulent. So churning effect will take place. So we say that a turbulent river, all the hilly rivers are very much turbulent, where white water rafting is done, as we have seen. So water is not in a very disciplined way. So water in the river, when it comes down from the hills and mountains, the water moves this side, that side, and it's like a white, everything becomes white. So that is called as a turbulent flow of liquid. But when the same river comes down to the plains, it flows very steadily. That is a streamline flow. Similarly, you can observe the streamline and turbulent flow. If you open the tap, see, if this is a water tap and some water is falling from this water tap, so you will see that up to a certain height the flow of water is streamlined, but at the water comes towards the bottom, if you observe carefully, the bottom part of the water which is falling from this tap is not that streamlined. Rather, this sort of things happen. So this here to here is streamline flow, but here it is turbulent flow. Similarly, if you burn an incense stick, agarbatti, so one incense stick, agarbatti, if you burn, you will see that all the vapors of agarbatti vapors will rise upward. This is very easy to observe. So when these vapors of this agarbatti incense stick burns and rises up, this smoke, you observe the smoke. The smoke as you go up, and after some time the smoke curves like this. So from here to here it is streamline flow, but the topmost part is the turbulent flow. They become very disorderly flow is called as the turbulent flow. So all particles of the liquid flow with a different velocity, producing that turbulence. Okay. So these are some examples of streamline and turbulent flow. So in this chapter we will be basically dealing with the streamline flow. Streamline flow is also known as a laminar flow of liquid. That is the other name of streamline flow. Now what causes the flow of a liquid to be streamline or turbulent? There is a term called critical velocity. So critical velocity of liquid. So critical velocity of a liquid is the velocity which is going to determine whether the flow of a liquid will be streamlined or turbulent. So the critical velocity of any liquid depends on the density of the liquid, depends on the tube through which it is flowing, etc., etc. Many more parameters are there. But in roughly, what is critical velocity? So it is that velocity above which, if a liquid flows, suppose the liquid flows above the critical velocity, then the flow of the liquid will be turbulent. If the flow velocity of the liquid is below the critical velocity, then the flow of the liquid will be streamlined. So critical velocity is the boundary line. Okay, so it is a particular value of velocity below which the flow of a liquid will remain streamlined, and above which the flow of the liquid will become turbulent. So critical velocity of every liquid is different, and critical velocity differs and depends on the density of the liquid. Remember, there is a term called viscosity which we will learn in the next chapter, and also the radius of the tube on which it is flowing, and also the length of the tube, also determining factor of the critical velocity. So these are some basic concepts about the streamline and turbulent flow. So let us discuss something about streamline flow in details.